If you have been using Claude for a while, you understand this well. You spend 20 minutes giving Claude your context, your role, your work, what you're trying to do, and Claude is brilliant. Then the next day, when you start a new chat, it's like meeting a stranger. The new chat has no idea who you are, no idea what you discussed. Every session starts from zero. Yes, Claude has memory settings, but it remembers broad facts about you, not the specific work context you need every new session. Projects solve this properly. A project is a dedicated workspace inside Claude. Think of it like different departments in your office: sales, marketing, content, tech, customer support, etc. Each department has its own space, its own information, its own way of working. Projects work exactly the same way. On the individual pro plan, your projects are personal. Only you work inside them. On the Claude team plan, multiple people can share and collaborate inside the same project, just like real team working in the same department. Every time you open a project, two things are already waiting for you: your instructions telling Claude how to behave, and your files giving it the background it needs. No re-explaining, no re-uploading. Claude already knows it. When you create a new chat inside the same project, Claude will automatically reference the information and memory from other chats. Once you work seriously inside a project, going back to regular chat will feel like trying to cook without a kitchen. Now, enough of my jibber jabber theory. Let's get started with the practical use case of projects. Creating a project is genuinely simple, under 2 minutes from scratch. But what takes time is training the project. On Claude, if you look at the left sidebar, you will see projects section. Once you click on that, you are in the projects section. Click on new projects and you are in. One important thing to flag up front is projects are available on the pro and team plans only. Free plan users won't see this kind of option. If you are on the fence about upgrading, projects alone is one of the strongest reasons to go pro. The ability to have persistent, organized, context-aware workspaces changes how you use Claude completely. When you create a project, Claude asks you for a name and a short description. The description is a one line you can write about what this project used for. When you come back after 2 weeks, that one-liner saves you 30 seconds of confusion about every time, right? This actually doesn't matter for memory, just for your reference what this project is about. Once project is created, you land on this project screen. Towards the right, 3 things to notice. On the top section is memory, which saves from your chats automatically. And the second is instructions. This is where you permanently brief Claude on how to behave inside this workspace. The bottom is knowledge files. This is where you upload the documents Claude should always have access to, right? Let's go deeper into each segment. Matching yellow, yellow. Okay, let's get to project instructions. Project instructions is the single most powerful feature inside projects, and the one most people either skip or fill in lazily. This is your permanent briefing to Claude. I will just show you what I have written in one of the projects. So this is a research analyst which I'm training. If you come to instructions, you click on it, you can see in detail what this project is about, who you are, who this guy is, identity, hard rules. If you scroll down, like if you see that detailed, everything is written here, and the document version as well. This is the reason I say think like a developer and act like a dumb fuck. Why I tell you? Because Claude is nothing but of computer, right? Computer is nothing but of coding. Coding is nothing but of mathematics. Mathematics has logic. All developers think in that logic because they're trained to think that way. So basically, when you're trying to give instructions, think like a developer but act like a dumb fuck. I'll tell you how to do it. You don't need to write this much. The best way is to create a new chat and go on discussing with Claude what all you want the project to behave like and the automation you want to have in this project. Then finally, once you're satisfied with Claude responses, ask Claude to write a detailed instructions markdown document and then just upload that document to project settings. Why instructions are so crucial in Claude? This is like an operational brain. Think of it like onboarding a new team member properly. Instead of explaining your context, your preferences, and your work style every Monday morning, you write it all down once and they read it before single meeting, right? They know everything about your team and they have all the documents ready. That's what project instructions does. It makes Claude permanently context aware, permanently calibrated to how you work for every conversation in this workspace without exception. Okay, next, let's look at knowledge files. Knowledge files is where you give Claude the documents it needs to do genuinely useful work for you. You can upload PDFs, Word documents, text files, Excel sheets, Markdown files, and more. The file size limit is 30 MB per file. I think you can upload as many as you want, but within their token limits. In each chat, you can upload 20 files per chat. To be honest, I don't know how much is the actual file usage in real world scenario. Many of my uploads show only 1% of project files are used. The maximum it shows is 6% because a massive HTML document is attached. So I'm assuming a lot of space is available for file uploads. So don't worry about that. Go ahead and upload your company docs, your SOPs, your product specs, your reference material, and Claude has all of it available every time you open a conversation in this particular project. Okay, let me show you this live with one of my projects. This is a tool that I built. It is Work Dashboard. It is a browser-based offline dashboard that I built, one of the first tools that I built using Claude. What this does is basically for the past 5 years, whatever manual lifestyle that I had in terms of personal productivity, in terms of tracking the personal things, in terms of work productivity, mainly which is YouTube, and then client productivity. I turned the entire process into dashboard. Only few things I punch in and everything else the tool does. It generates massive amount of charts. So the main file for this is this one, this HTML file, because I built this over a couple of months. That's why you see it's a massive 5,000 line HTML file. Massive because so many conditions and so many features are added. You can see I don't want to show full because a lot of personal stuffs are involved. So I'll show you only this. These three I built only for this tutorial purpose. Let's see, this is the main file. Let's see, first thing, let's test if Claude understands what's there in the project. Let's go to Sonnet 4.6. What is my latest? Let's see first if Claude understands what's there. Wow, so specific. So let's say this is the dashboard. I want to make some changes somewhere. Let's say I want to change the color of this or functions of it, or I want to change this to bar graph. First, let's take screenshot. Come to Claude. VS Code is this. I've opened everything. You can see massive 5,000 lines of code. 5,047 it is gone. Claude actually knows. The file is already there. I also have it here, and Claude will go through and will figure out where that section exactly is and what needs to be changed. First change, search for this. Why Claude is giving this format? Because I've added in the settings and I've added in the memory as well. I want Claude to respond to me in this format. Search for this line and paste this line. Exactly, okay, 4. Exactly 4, 6, 8, 9. This line. Just replace with bar. Okay, bar is done. Second change is find this line. Just copy. Find this line. Okay. From border color to this and replace to this. Now let's see what happens. Look at this. It changed from this style to this. But I'm going to Control Z. Okay, so I changed it back because I wanted this style. This is actually what is this post-production hours weekly trend. So every week how much post-production actual productivity goes. The time I sit in front of the system and the time I exit. What is that exact time? There's a timer. It tracks the time and it updates everywhere. Like individual video, weekly, monthly, daily, it tracks throughout. If you see there is one more file here, this is actually my backup. If you come here, there's a backup. Since it is offline, all the data gets saved to my computer. That is how I've built. I don't want anything to be online because I have personal details. So when I click backup, it gets saved to my computer in case I want to clear cache everything. Then I come back and load that. So this is the latest backup that I've uploaded here, and Claude also knows that if anything is missing in this, if some code is fucked up, Claude will understand by reading this backup. Here is something most people haven't found yet. Inside every project, there is a project memory feature. Claude automatically rebuilds a memory of your past conversation in this project every evening. So when you start a new chat the next morning, Claude already has context from your previous sessions. It's project specific and it's automatic and it's private as well. Even if you're on a team plan, no one else can see it. This significantly reduces the manual workaround that we have discussed. You still can't have Claude remember mid-session, but across sessions, this handles it pretty fine. And it's automatic. If you want something to be added to the memory, you can ask Claude to update it and it does the job. Automatically it gets saved. How can you turn this project into agents? This is where projects get genuinely powerful. A project becomes an agent when you stop asking questions and start giving it jobs. For example, my video process after ideation is done, the large part of the job is research. What I've done is created a project called Research Analyst and have been training this project to research like how I research in the real world. This is still new, still training this guy to do research exactly like how I do. The instructions has every step of the process. This guy's job largely has 3 tasks. First task is to research data from tier 1 sources that are official sources like RBI, IRDAI, etc. Provide just the data point for my argument and always give specific source hyperlink because I go and manually check the data. I don't trust AI in my work. At this stage, I'm only training this guy. So if not tier 1, then move to tier 2 sources. If not tier 2, then directly reject the data and no longer go to third sources. That is the hard rule here. The second task of this guy is to prepare chapter-wise highlights for the topic along with data points, arguments for the video and source links approved by me. The third task of this guy is to structure this into chapter-wise information, charts, data and arguments along with source links. Then finally create a document ready to give it to the scriptwriter. There is another project that I have created. It's called Scriptwriter. Though I write my own scripts using a manual typewriter, I have been training this project to write like me. So on the right side, if you can see, I have uploaded the previous scripts that I have written, and I have been training Claude to understand the style I write. So it even understands sometimes I use words like macha, maga, etc. But it is getting better. What this job is, the way I have done the instructions and memory as well, is to take the exact research document the research analyst has provided and write it in my style. Scriptwriter job is not to do research. Job is only to pick the data that is already there in the document. The research analyst will give me the document, I upload it here, and I will ask Claude to write in my style. So it understands my writing style, and then it writes a script. And again, this project also has automatic learning process. So every time if Claude writes something like robotic, and then I flag that particular session, particular paragraph, and then say, this is how I would write. Then Claude will understand it, it updates the memory, and yeah, that's how we, here if you see, there is style guide. It has all the details of how I would write. So basically I would update this. So I'm still training this guy to write exactly like me. So let's see how brilliant Claude will pick it up. The beauty of Claude Projects is I have created self-learning process for these two guys. At the end of each session, I ask for debriefing. It gives me summary and updates the debriefing document, right? So you can see the document here, which is version 3 for research guy. This is the core brain behind this guy. Let's say this guy makes some data error. I will flag it immediately. Fuckface, this data point is wrong. Now Claude knows exactly where it went wrong, right? At the end of each session, it gives me summary of what went wrong and what went right and specific learnings. It will give me an updated document, and then I will go and replace the document in the project settings. I wanted Claude only to automatically go and update and replace this document, but Claude says it doesn't have permission to go and delete files from my project. So, which is fair enough because it should be not control. So far I have figured out till here to make the projects into our work slaves. So treat them like how companies treat employees in India. So that's about projects. I feel this is enough for this video. Let me know what you think about projects in the comments section. I will see you in the next video.